CES 2020 Day 3, we're here in the Palazzo at the iBuyPower suite. Now, when a lot of people think of iBuyPower, they think of them as an SI, but they actually are bringing some very specific products to market, and they look really interesting. So let's head on in there and see what they got. BPS Custom's coverage of CES 2020 in Las Vegas is made possible by Thermaltake, Fractal Design, and Corsair. Thank you to them for making our trip possible. Check out the links below. Please. They know secrets about me from last CES, and they said they're going to tell everybody if you guys don't buy all the new things. In June, you might see something a little bit different coming from iBuyPower. Now, while this doesn't have a name yet, they're still working on that. These are ambient light panels, and as Mike pans around the room, you can see that they have it set up in what is a virtual 5.1 surround environment. What they're trying to do is the same thing that audio manufacturers do, is create a simulated environment around you that kind of replicates either a sound profile or something on your TV or a computer screen, so that it immerses you when you're sitting down and watching a movie or playing a game or whatever the case may be. It's definitely interesting to look at, and they simulated a 3D effect by with like a rolling wheel where they had the lighting coming up this way and then down in the back, and the one that he showed you on the floor there, that rectangular one, will be on the ceiling, so it's going to kind of all be continuous, and they said they could rotate it around in 360 degrees, and it was a little trippy, to be honest with you, but it is definitely something that's interesting. Let me know down below in the comments what you might call something like this, or if you guys are interested in this kind of a lighting solution for your home. iBuyPower is debuting two new different water-cooled system builds that they're going to be offering their customers starting a little bit later this year, and for a really interesting and fairly low price premium. This right here, this is the Element CL. What I really like about this is that they said that this is probably only going to cost about $100 to $120 premium over a standard system. They're able to do this by having the tubes be pre-bent and having everything laid out in a standard way. So that way it minimizes the labor cost and you can get it configured however you want. But the distro block in the front is entirely their design. The ports on the GPU, entirely their design. The CPU block, entirely their design. So they're trying to keep everything as much in-house as possible, and it definitely makes for a very interesting presentation as this kind of distro block water-cooled solution is becoming more and more popular, and I think it looks great, and they said the cooling performance is really good as well. So the second case isn't necessarily going to have to be water-cooled, but this is the Element Dual. Now, this dual chamber design might look a little familiar to you guys, but again, it's something that customers seem to really want. And the thing that I really thought was very interesting about this case was the pricing. Now, they're targeting sub $100 pricing for this case if it were to be sold separately, which they may or may not do. It might just be an option on the website in their configurator. But it can fit a 360 at the bottom, it can fit three 120s at the top, and three 120s at the rear along the motherboard tray. Spacing for radiators here is admittedly a little tight. You might only be able to get a 240 on the back, but they are targeting a 360 at the top if you can clear your memory. Layout is dual chamber design, so you have the power supplies around back, good amount of cable management room as well. And it fits all obviously full-size hardware. 160 millimeter tall air coolers is the target as well. Right now this is a demo that doesn't quite fit that, but they are still working on tweaking a few things. Both of these cases are coming sometime around late April, early May, and right now they are a little unsure if they're only going to be offering them as part of an iBuyPower system or if you're going to be able to buy these standalone. I really hope this comes to market standalone because, like I said, the pricing is very aggressive. But again, let me know down below what you guys think about a configuration like this. If you would pay a little bit more if it came with fans, or if you'd prefer that it came with absolutely no fans and they just bottomed out the price. One of the biggest problems that filming at CES is that whenever you're in a vendor suite, there's always people in the way.
In the middle of something, Brian, get the fuck out.
This is the Revolt GT3. It's tiny, and it actually has a really interesting story as far as how it came to be. This right over here is a 3D printed initial concept for the Intel NUC. And actually you can see that it's mounted in the back here. But when they were developing this for the NUC, they kind of figured out that it's about the same size as a mini ITX motherboard. So they figured why not also incorporate that functionality into this really interesting rectangular modular case. This interior frame actually sits within this metal enclosure and it's suspended at each corner. So it actually is a vibration dampener, and it's supposed to help with vibrations transferring from interior components to your desk. And as Paul is really helpfully demonstrating, his finger is also here in the frame. So thank you very much, Paul. I think this looks good. All the exterior panels, either if they are mesh or tempered glass, are actually just magnetically attached. So it's very easy to put them on, take them off, and you can see that they actually have some height to them. And the reason for that is because this top panel right now is in a convex configuration, so that if you wanted to add something like fans on this bracket or SSDs on this bracket, you have additional clearance at the top in order to do so. And the same goes for the panel that covers over the GPU. This is going to allow you for a little bit of additional room for airflow for the fans, so it's not sandwiched up against the panel. Even if it is mesh, you obviously want to have a little bit of room to breathe. So this is the Revolt GT3. Just like the other iBuyPower cases, they are unsure this time if this is going to be just a standalone product or if they're only going to be selling it through their SI service. However, if it does come standalone, you'll probably see it in June for about $200. Thanks for watching our CES 2020 coverage, guys. Wanted to give a big thank you to our sponsors for this event. That is Thermaltake, Fractal Design, and Corsair. Check out their links down below. Make sure you get subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the CES content coming up all this week and probably into next week as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. All of our CES videos are edited on the Electronics Mag 15. Check out the link below.